Beyond the Gates. Spoilers. Full episodes. The 3rd of July, 2026. Friday's July on Beyond the Gates may not simply be a month of romance, weddings, lawsuits, and family drama. It could become the month when several carefully buried tensions finally explode at once, forcing characters who have been pretending, hiding, scheming, and denying the truth to face the consequences of everything they have tried to control. At the center of the storm are two very different battlefields: the dangerous power struggle between Joey Armstrong and Deanna McBride, and the emotional chaos surrounding Catherine. Kat Richardson, as Tomas Navarro, prepares to make a life-changing proposal. But beneath those obvious conflicts lies an even more unstable layer. Leslie Thomas, who recently appeared to be transformed by gratitude after Eva Thomas survived, thanks to Kat's liver donation, may be drifting back toward the darkest parts of herself. What once looked like a turning point for healing could become the beginning of a new cycle of resentment, jealousy, and sabotage. If the July spoilers are any indication, Beyond the Gates is preparing to show that love, loyalty, and family gratitude can disappear quickly when pride and envy begin to take control. The first week of July appears ready to place Kat in a deeply emotional position when Tomas Navarro gets down on one knee and asks her to marry him. On the surface, the proposal seems like a beautiful declaration of love after a terrifying period of loss, danger, and near-death experiences. The tornado that devastated the golf club changed everything for many characters, and Kat's own life was nearly lost after the organ transplant surgery that helped save Eva. Tomas has clearly been shaken by the thought of losing her. For him, the proposal may not feel impulsive at all. It may feel like the only honest response to the fear he has just survived. When someone nearly dies, the future stops feeling like a distant promise and starts feeling like something that must be claimed immediately. Tomas may look at Kat and see not only the woman he loves, but the woman he almost lost before he had the chance to build a full life with her. That urgency could push him to take a bold step before either of them has fully recovered emotionally from everything that happened. Yet that is exactly what makes the proposal complicated. Kat and Tomas are in love, but love alone does not erase uncertainty. They are not currently living together, and Kat has already shown hesitation in the past when things move too quickly. That hesitation matters. It suggests that, while she may love Tomas deeply, she may also be aware that marriage is not simply a romantic gesture. It is a commitment that changes the structure of her life, her family relationships, her priorities, and her future. Tomas may be proposing from a place of devotion, but Kat may receive the proposal from a place of emotional exhaustion. She has just gone through a medical crisis, a family crisis, and a storm of intense emotional expectations. Saying yes in that moment could feel thrilling, but it could also feel like surrendering to pressure. Saying no, however, could wound Tomas at the very moment he is trying to prove that he wants forever with her. That is why her reaction is likely to be filled with hesitation, not because she does not love him, but because she understands that timing can turn even the most sincere proposal into a source of conflict. The most dangerous factor in Kat's decision may not be Tomas at all. It may be Leslie. Leslie swore that she would change after Eva was saved by Kat's sacrifice, and for a brief moment, it seemed possible that gratitude might soften her. Kat gave part of herself to save Eva's life, and that act should have created a lasting bridge between them. Leslie had every reason to look at Kat differently after that. A woman who once could have been seen as an enemy or rival suddenly became the reason Eva was still alive. But soap opera promises are often most fragile when they are made in moments of crisis. Leslie may have meant what she said when fear and gratitude overwhelmed her, but once life begins to return to normal, old wounds may start whispering again. Her darker instincts may not vanish simply because Eva survived. In fact, Eva's survival may create a new kind of resentment if Leslie begins to feel that Kat is being celebrated too much, forgiven too easily, or placed at the emotional center of a story that Leslie believes should belong to her and Eva. That jealousy could become even more intense if Kat accepts Tomas's proposal. For Kat, marriage may represent love and stability, but for Leslie, it could feel like another symbol of Kat receiving the life, attention, and family validation that others are still waiting for. Kat may want nothing more than to be walked down the aisle by her father, Ted Richardson, before Eva has that chance. That detail may sound simple at first, but emotionally, it is explosive. Weddings in this world are never just weddings. They are public ceremonies of belonging. They tell everyone who is loved, who is chosen, who is honored, and who stands at the center of the family. If Kat becomes engaged before Eva, and if Ted is expected to give Kat away first, Leslie may see it not as a romantic milestone, but as an insult. She may believe that Eva deserves that moment more, especially after everything Eva has endured. She may interpret Kat's happiness as another example of Eva being forced to wait while Kat receives the spotlight. Leslie's hopes for Isaiah Hawthorne and Eva to become engaged only make this more volatile. If Leslie has imagined Eva's future in a very specific way, then Kat's engagement could feel like an invasion of that dream. Leslie may have pictured Eva being celebrated, protected, loved, and finally given the kind of public happiness that proves her pain has not defined her. Instead, she may be forced to watch Kat become the bride everyone talks about first. That kind of jealousy is not always rational, but it can be powerful. Leslie may tell herself she is defending Eva. She may insist she is only reacting to unfairness. But beneath those justifications may be something uglier, a need to control the emotional order of the family and punish anyone who disrupts it. Kat's engagement could become the spark that reignites Leslie's resentment, pulling Eva into a new conflict she may not even want. If Leslie begins sabotaging Kat's wedding plans, the consequences could be devastating. She may not strike openly at first. Leslie is clever enough to hide cruelty behind concern. She could question whether Kat is rushing into marriage too soon. She could plant doubts about Tomas's timing. She could suggest that Kat is using the engagement to compete with Eva or to win Ted's attention. She could interfere with planning details, spread quiet rumors, manipulate family conversations, or create emotional scenes that make Kat feel guilty for being happy. The worst part is that Leslie may convince herself she is not doing anything wrong. She may frame every act of interference as protection, every insult as honesty, every attack of sabotage as justice. That is what makes her dark side dangerous. She may not see herself as the villain of Kat's wedding story. She may see herself as the only person willing to expose the selfishness she believes everyone else is ignoring. But Leslie may not be the only threat to Kat's happiness. Chelsea Hamilton could also become uncomfortable if Kat and Tomas announce their engagement. Chelsea is planning her own wedding to Dr. Madison Montgomery, and that puts her in an emotionally delicate position. Weddings are supposed to be joyful, but they also create competition, especially among people whose relationships are already tied to reputation, business, and public image. Chelsea may not want to admit that she feels overshadowed, but if all the attention shifts toward Kat's engagement, she could become frustrated. Her wedding to Madison should be a major moment in her life, and if Kat's news suddenly dominates family conversations, social circles, and perhaps even media attention, Chelsea may begin to feel erased. That kind of resentment could quietly affect not only her personal relationship with Kat, but also their shared brand, Chelsea Cat. The Chelsea Cat brand could become an unexpected casualty of this emotional rivalry. Business partnerships depend on trust, timing, and shared public presentation. If Chelsea feels that Kat's engagement is pulling focus from her own wedding, she may start questioning whether Kat is as committed to the brand as she once was. Kat, meanwhile, may feel attacked for simply being happy. What begins as wedding tension could bleed into professional tension. A missed meeting, a disagreement over promotional strategy, or a public event overshadowed by personal drama could turn into something larger. Chelsea might accuse Kat of making everything about herself, while Kat might accuse Chelsea of being jealous and unsupportive. If Leslie is also stirring conflict in the background, then the pressure on Kat could become unbearable. Instead of enjoying her engagement, she may find herself defending it from every direction. While Kat's romantic future becomes increasingly complicated, Madison's legal battle may also intensify. The lawsuit involving Madison, Bill Hamilton, Naomi Hawthorne, and Mike Davis promises to bring a different kind of drama, one built on secrets, strategy, and the threat of public destruction. Bill and Naomi will be going up against Mike, Bill's shady former employee, and that immediately raises the stakes. Mike is not simply an opponent. He is someone who likely knows where the bodies are buried, metaphorically, if not literally. Former employees often possess the kind of information that powerful people underestimate until it is too late. Mike may know how Bill operates, what he hides, and which weaknesses can be exploited in court or behind closed doors. If he is willing to use dirty tactics, then this lawsuit may become less about justice and more about survival. Madison may be the person most at risk in that fight. Even if Bill and Naomi are the ones battling Mike directly, Madison's name, reputation, and emotional well-being could suffer the most damage. Lawsuits have a way of dragging private pain into public view. If Mike decides to play dirty, he may target Madison not because she is the strongest opponent, but because hurting her could pressure everyone else. He may expose personal information, distort facts, manipulate testimony, or use the media to create suspicion. Madison's relationship with Chelsea could also be tested if the lawsuit begins to interfere with their wedding plans. Chelsea may want to stand by Madison, but wedding pressure, brand concerns, and family tension could make that support more complicated than either of them expects. A legal battle can reveal not only who is guilty, but who remains loyal when the truth becomes inconvenient. Bill's own secrets may also continue to threaten him from another direction. His elevator encounter with Danny Dupree remains hidden for now, but secrets like that rarely stay buried forever. The fact that Vanessa McBride may not discover the truth during July does not mean the secret is safe. It only means the danger is being delayed. Bill and Danny may think silence protects them, but every day they keep the truth hidden gives the eventual reveal more destructive power. If Vanessa eventually finds out, especially after other betrayals have already weakened trust around her, the fallout could be brutal. For now, however, Vanessa's attention appears to be focused elsewhere, especially on the growing power struggle between her boyfriend Joey Armstrong and her daughter Deanna McBride. That conflict may become one of the most fascinating and dangerous storylines of the month. Deanna is not confronting Joey with open hostility, at least not at first. Instead, she is pretending to accept Vanessa's relationship with him. That false acceptance is far more dangerous than open rejection. If Deanna screamed, protested, or openly demanded that Vanessa leave Joey, he would know exactly where she stood. But by acting calm, reasonable, or even supportive, Deanna lowers his guard. She gives him the illusion that he has survived the family's resistance. She allows Vanessa to believe that peace may be possible. Most importantly, she buys herself time. Thanks to guidance from the ghostly presence or memory of her father, Doug McBride, Deanna appears to be setting a trap for the casino owner. That means her every smile may be part of a strategy, every polite conversation a test, every moment of acceptance a mask. Doug's influence over Deanna makes the storyline even more emotionally charged. Whether he appears as a ghostly advisor, a haunting memory, or a symbolic voice in her mind, Doug represents the past refusing to stay silent. Deanna's connection to him may give her strength, but it may also push her deeper into obsession. If she believes she is acting with her father's blessing, then she may feel morally justified in deceiving Joey. To her, Joey is not just her mother's boyfriend. He may represent danger, corruption, and a threat to the McBride family's legacy. If Doug's memory is urging her to act, then Deanna may believe she is protecting Vanessa from a man who has no place in their lives. But there is a thin line between protection and control, and Deanna may cross it without realizing how far she has gone. Joey, however, is not a man who can be trapped easily. The July spoilers suggest that he will also begin making moves of his own, and his plan may involve Randy Parker. That detail is extremely important because Randy is not just another pawn. He was Doug's childhood friend, which gives him a direct emotional bridge to Deanna and the McBride family history. Joey asking Randy to take on a significant task involving Deanna could be a brilliant and dangerous counter-strategy. If Joey senses that Deanna's acceptance is fake, he may want someone close enough to her family legacy to gain access without raising immediate suspicion. Randy's connection to Doug could make him appear trustworthy, especially if Deanna feels nostalgic, curious, or emotionally vulnerable around someone who knew her father before everything became complicated. But Randy's involvement could also create unpredictable complications. Because he knew Doug, he may carry his own memories, loyalties, regrets, or secrets. Joey may see him as a useful tool, but Randy may not be fully controllable. Once he reconnects with Doug's daughter, old emotions could surface. He may begin the mission intending to help Joey, only to become conflicted after seeing Deanna's pain up close. Or he may discover something about Doug's past that changes the entire balance of the conflict. If Randy knows more than he has admitted, he could become the key to exposing the truth behind Deanna's motives, Joey's fears, or even Doug's hidden influence. In soap drama, the person sent to manipulate someone often becomes the person who uncovers the one truth no one expected. The Joey-Deanna battle is especially compelling because both characters may believe they are the smartest person in the room. Deanna thinks she is setting a trap while pretending to accept Joey. Joey appears to be preparing his own response by involving Randy. Vanessa, caught between them, may not fully understand that the two people closest to her are quietly preparing for war. That is where the emotional tragedy lies. Vanessa may believe she can have both love and family peace, but Joey and Deanna may already be treating each other as enemies. If Vanessa discovers the truth too late, she may feel betrayed by everyone. Deanna may insist she was protecting her mother. Joey may claim he was defending himself. But Vanessa may ask the question neither of them wants to answer. If they truly cared about her, why did they turn her life into a battlefield without telling her? The most explosive outcome would be for Deanna's trap and Joey's plan to collide at the worst possible moment. Deanna may arrange a situation designed to expose Joey's secrets or prove that he is dangerous, only for Joey to send Randy into her orbit to uncover what she is planning. Randy could become trapped between both sides, especially if Deanna begins to trust him because of his connection to Doug. If Randy reports back to Joey, Deanna may see it as the ultimate betrayal of her father's memory. If Randy withholds information from Joey, Joey may retaliate. Either way, Randy could become the pressure point that turns a quiet game of strategy into open war. And if Doug's past contains secrets that neither Joey nor Deanna fully understands, Randy may be the person who accidentally brings those secrets back into the present. All of these storylines share one common theme: people pretending they are in control when they are actually standing on unstable ground. Kat may believe she can make a decision about Tomas based only on love, but family jealousy and wedding rivalry may interfere. Leslie may believe she has changed, but her envy may prove stronger than her promise. Chelsea may believe her wedding plans are secure, but Kat's engagement could unsettle both her emotions and her business partnership. Madison may believe the lawsuit is a fight for truth, but Mike's dirty tactics could turn it into a public nightmare. Bill may believe his secret with Danny is safe, but secrecy has a way of growing more dangerous with time. Deanna may believe she is trapping Joey, while Joey may believe he is outmaneuvering Deanna. In every corner of the story, characters are making moves without realizing how many other people are moving at the same time. That is what could make July such a strong month for Beyond the Gates. The drama is not limited to one scandal or one couple. It is a network of emotional conflicts that could crash into one another. Kat's engagement could trigger Leslie, unsettle Chelsea, complicate Eva's place in the family, and place Tomas under pressure. Madison's lawsuit could test Chelsea, expose Bill, and empower Mike. Joey and Deanna's war could pull Vanessa, Randy, and Doug's memory into a dangerous web of deception. Each storyline has its own emotional engine, but together they create the sense that every character is one wrong decision away from disaster. If Kat says yes to Tomas, the engagement should not be treated as a simple, happy ending. It should be the beginning of a new storm. A yes would satisfy Tomas's longing and give Kat a romantic future, but it could also provoke Leslie's jealousy, Chelsea's insecurity, and Eva's discomfort. If Kat says no or asks for more time, Tomas may feel rejected, and Leslie may still find a way to twist the situation into something ugly. There may be no answer that protects Kat from conflict. That is the tragedy of her position. After saving Eva's life, she might expect gratitude and peace. Instead, she may find herself blamed, envied, and watched. Her sacrifice may have saved a life, but it did not erase the complicated emotional history surrounding the people involved. Leslie's broken promise could become one of the most painful developments because it would show how difficult true change really is. It is easy to swear transformation when someone is fighting for their life. It is much harder to live that transformation when jealousy returns, when old rivalries resurface, and when someone else receives the happiness you wanted for your own child. If Leslie sabotages Kat's wedding plans, it will prove that her gratitude had limits. It will also place Eva in a terrible position. Eva may love Leslie or feel loyal to her, but she may also recognize that Kat gave her a chance to live. If Leslie attacks Kat after that, Eva could be forced to choose between loyalty and conscience. That choice could create one of the deepest emotional conflicts of the month. Meanwhile, Deanna's war with Joey could reveal just how dangerous love becomes when family refuses to accept it. Vanessa may see Joey as a partner, perhaps even as someone who gives her excitement, protection, or emotional fulfillment. Deanna may see him as a threat. Joey may see Deanna as an obstacle. None of them may be completely wrong, which is what makes the conflict interesting. Joey likely has secrets and dangerous instincts. Deanna may have legitimate reasons to distrust him. Vanessa may have the right to make her own choices, even if her daughter disapproves. The problem is that, instead of honest confrontation, both Joey and Deanna appear to be choosing strategy. Once strategy replaces honesty, every relationship involved becomes contaminated. By the end of July, the show could leave several major questions hanging over the audience. Will Kat accept Tomas's proposal because she truly feels ready, or because Leslie's reaction pushes her into a decision made partly out of defiance? Will Leslie's jealousy destroy the fragile peace created by Kat's sacrifice? Will Chelsea allow Kat's engagement to damage both their friendship and the Chelsea Cat brand? Will Mike Davis outmaneuver Bill Hamilton and Naomi Hawthorne in court, leaving Madison to suffer the worst consequences? Will Bill and Danny's elevator secret remain hidden long enough to become even more explosive later? Will Deanna's trap succeed, or will Joey's use of Randy Parker turn the game against her? And perhaps most importantly, will Vanessa realize that the people claiming to love and protect her are quietly turning her life into a war zone? July on Beyond the Gates could therefore become a turning point where romance becomes rivalry, gratitude becomes resentment, and protection becomes manipulation. Tomas may believe his proposal is an act of love, but it could ignite chaos. Leslie may believe she can hide her darker instincts, but jealousy may expose her. Chelsea may believe her own wedding should remain the center of attention, but Kat's engagement may challenge that. Madison may believe justice will prevail, but Mike's tactics may prove how ugly the legal battle can become. Deanna may believe she is honoring Doug by trapping Joey, but she may underestimate how dangerous Joey becomes when he realizes someone is playing him. And Joey, confident as ever, may believe Randy gives him the advantage, without understanding that anyone connected to Doug McBride carries history that can never be fully controlled. The gates may still look polished from the outside, but inside, every relationship is beginning to crack. Kat's future with Tomas, Leslie's promise to change, Chelsea's wedding dreams, Madison's fight for justice, Bill's buried secret, Vanessa's romance, Deanna's loyalty to Doug, and Joey's hunger for control are all moving toward collision. If July proves anything, it may be that no celebration is safe, no secret stays quiet forever, and no promise means much when jealousy and power enter the room. By the time the month reaches its peak, the biggest question may not be who wins, but who is left standing after love, family, and ambition turn against one another.